The echoes we carry. The rain had always been Emily's favorite sound. Not the stormy kind, but the soft drizzle that taps on windows like a secret. On that lonely November afternoon in London, she sat by the cafe window with her hands wrapped around a warm cup of chamomile tea. Across from her sat a stranger, dark coat, stubble on his chin, a copy of the bell jar in hand, and a smile that looked like it had been stitched together after a long war with grief. "Is this seat taken?" he asked. "No," Emily said, her voice barely louder than the rain. He sat down. That was supposed to be the end of it. Just another moment with another stranger in a crowded city. But it wasn't. Chapter 1. When Broken Finds Broken. Over the following days, then weeks, they kept running into each other. Always at the same cafe, same time. At first, they exchanged polite nods. Then small conversations. Then laughter. Then silence, the kind that feels like home. His name was Aiden. He worked in publishing, read too much poetry, and carried the sadness of a man who had once loved deeply and lost unfairly. She was a photographer. Not the Instagram kind, the real kind, who still used film and believed in the truth behind shadows. Her sadness was quieter, like a painting with too much blue. One evening, just as the last golden light spilled across the river, he asked, "You ever think two broken people can be whole together?" She looked at him, her breath trembling. "Only if they're honest about their cracks." That night, they kissed for the first time. It was slow, tender, and full of fear. Fear of feeling again. Fear of healing. Fear of losing. But they kissed anyway. Chapter 2. The Beautiful Beginning. The next few months were like waking from a long winter. They went to bookshops, cooked messy dinners, danced in the kitchen to old jazz, and made love in tangled sheets that smelled like chamomile and rain. He told her about his late fiancée, Lily, who died in a car crash 3 years ago. He hadn't loved anyone since. She told him about her mother, who abandoned her at 12 and left scars that no camera could capture. They didn't fix each other. They just listened. And sometimes, that was enough. Chapter 3. Cracks in the Glass. But love built on old wounds is delicate. Aiden started pulling away, slowly, like a tide receding. He cancelled plans. Stared off into nothing. Flinched when she touched his arm. Emily, in her emotional wisdom, didn't beg. She waited. Gave him space. Asked softly, "Are you okay?" But silence grew louder. One night, she found a photo of Lily in his drawer, newly framed. That wasn't the problem. The note behind it was, "You'll always be my only." Emily didn't cry. Not then. She kissed him goodnight and left his apartment barefoot in the rain. Her tears mixed with the sky. No umbrella. No farewell. Chapter 4. The Fallout. He tried to call. She didn't answer. She needed time to bleed in private. 4 days, she wandered the city with her camera, capturing people who looked like they were pretending to be okay. She saw herself in every stranger's eyes. Then, one day, he showed up at her door. "I didn't mean for this to happen," he said. "You're not second to her. I swear." Emily looked at him, all love and ache. "You don't have to lie, Aiden. It's okay if I'm not first. I just can't be someone's shadow." He cried. She didn't. Emotional intelligence, she realized, isn't just about understanding others. It's about knowing when your own heart is worth protecting. Chapter 5. The Turning Point. Weeks passed. Then months. Emily started a photo exhibit called The Echoes We Carry. It featured raw, unfiltered portraits of people holding photos of the ones they lost. It was honest. Beautiful. Painful. Aiden came to the opening night. Quietly. From the back of the room. She saw him. He didn't approach. But she smiled. That smile, more than anything, was closure. Chapter 6. Rebirth. A year later, Emily sat in that same cafe. This time, she was alone by choice, not by pain. Her eyes were softer now. Her heart no longer carried bitterness. A man walked in. Not Aiden. Someone else. "Mind if I sit?" he asked. She smiled. Sure. It wasn't the beginning of a new love story, but maybe the beginning of another chapter. She had learned that love isn't always about forever. Sometimes, it's about reminding us we can feel again. And survive. Final words. Heartbreak isn't the end of love. It's proof that you were brave enough to feel something real. And emotional intelligence is knowing when to let go, not out of weakness, but strength. Because healing is not forgetting. 6 months after the exhibit, Aiden wrote Emily a letter. Not to ask for another chance, but to thank her. You taught me how to live again, even if it wasn't with you. I loved you, Emily. I always will. But some people come into our lives not to stay, but to guide us back to ourselves. You were my guide. And I hope you know, you changed me. She read it with a smile that didn't ache anymore. Later that night, she stood by her window as it rained, soft, steady, familiar. She whispered to the sky, I loved you too, Aiden. But I love me more now. Then she turned off the light, tucked the letter away, and began editing her next photo series, The Beauty of Letting Go. As she pressed play on her favorite jazz track and poured herself a cup of tea, she realized. She wasn't waiting for love to find her anymore. She was already full. It's remembering with peace.